Hey, we're going to go over running Kylo code with Unreal Engine 5.8 inside the terminal using Unreal Engine's built-in MCP. And then we also have VibeUE installed on top of it. That's optional. We do not need that, but we're going to show you how to get that all set up. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to Kylo code. And then they have download, install CLI, install Node.js. If you don't have Node.js, you want to install that or install with npm. Um, so use this npm command, and you're just going to run that in a terminal. So if you're a Windows guy, cmd or PowerShell. I usually run this as an admin just to be safe. I already have it installed, but you're just going to run that command right there, and it should install it. Fail to remove some directories. All right, follow. All right, so it's installed. You get something like this, right? Then you're going to need, it might ask you about not having credits or anything like that. You're going to type /models, and you're going to make sure this is set to auto free. So that'll just give you some free models that you can use for testing. Um, there's some stuff on this Kylo gateway, which they may train on your code. It says that's good to know. I use open rotor with my key. I don't know if it's here. You can configure an open rotor key as well. I do it with the CLI, with the Visual Studio piece. I haven't set it up for the CLI, but you can do that as well. But anyway, you want the free one, auto free, right? So tell a joke about Unreal Engine. No, either show them you want me to like static mesh and yeah, whatever. All right, so we're installed. The next thing you need is in Unreal Engine. You're going to have to go to your plugins. You're going to want MCP. Um, you can do both. You really only need this first one, but I do both. And then VibeUE is my extension. You can get that on Fab or it's open source if you want. It gives you more MCP tools and AI editor pieces that are built into the Unreal MCP. You're also going to want terminal. So that's going to give you this terminal window that we're going to run Kylo code in. Then you're going to go over here to your plugins. Model. Nope, not plugins, sorry. Edit, I do this every time. Editor preferences. And we're going to go to model, context, general, model context protocol. So we see the server path /MCP, server port. You can change that if you want. Auto start server, want that checked. Enable tool search, want that checked. So we want both of those checked. And then this auto start server will start if you restart Unreal Engine. If not, you can go into the commands and you can say model context protocol, and then you'll model context. You see there's the start server command. So you can do that if you don't want to reset. All right. So we've got that set up. Now the next thing we want to do is Kylo code. There's commands in the instructions for Epic Games, and you probably want to go over these instructions. I'll put those in the link too. For doing things in the terminal and generating like a Claude config or an all config, but this doesn't have any of the open source ones. Um, so the MCP JSON that it comes with doesn't really work with Kylo, but you do want this terminal settings that are in here somewhere. Call app terminal. yeah, so you want to set the terminal settings and this color, and these are settings on the terminal, so that it just makes it look a little bit better when you're using the terminal. So again, back to editor preferences, terminal, you add these two settings. That's the only thing I changed there. All right. Back over to here. We need an MCP.json. So this is just VS Code, but it's just a text file inside of the root of your game called kylo.json, right? And then it needs this format here in order to work for the MCP server to show up in Kylo. So once you get that set up, then you're in Unreal Engine. You type Kylo. And there you go. Now you have Kylo code in your terminal. So you can do /MCP and you'll see Unreal MCP connected. That's what you're looking for, right? Good to know that it works. And then escape. So I'm back over here. We see we get that auto free Kylo gateway. If you don't see that, remember models. Change your models. A init's probably a good idea to get your agent set up. VibeUE comes with an agent, so VibeUE has a command on its instructions. If you're running VibeUE, you'll see it over here, and this will update your agent's MD with whatever is needed for Kylo code. So I don't have any agent's MD because I'm using Claude code, so I'm actually going to run that command. Whoops. Let me just do. Oh, all right. Now I have my agents MD, Gemini MD, Claude MD. The agents MD is the only one I needed. So I'm not using Gemini. So I'm just going to delete that one. It also set up Gemini, Cursor, Codex. I do use Codex. I don't use Cursor anymore. So I'm going to delete that guy. And I'm going to delete this guy. That command did set up all the different agents. All right. So now that that's running, you have the agents MD. We can say, let's mark down a little. So it's calling Unreal MCP execute Python code, which is VibeUE's method, not the Unreal Engine's default one. It allows you to run multiple tools at once versus the Unreal Engine one will just run one tool at a time. So it should take less tokens. That's the idea. See if it answers the questions. One light, level, directional light. All right. So yeah. Um, there's a skylight too, but for numerous reasons, it doesn't always get that right depending on the model you use. Um, but it works. And I don't know that I would use this auto free that much. It's kind of slow. With Open Rotor and DeepSeek V4 Flash, I get pretty cool results on the cheap, much cheaper than Claude. But anyway, there you go.